going, guys, from YouTube? I'm Sir Jones from Birkin Medieval Knights, otherwise known as Cold One or Jonesy. This video is in regards to what me and a friend of mine were talking about on the ubc.com about footwork and how it's a basic fundamental in the martial arts and also cutting, and yet there's not too many videos that actually show you where to place your foot and how to do it. This video is to do with medieval swordsmanship, not Japanese swordsmanship. So for people that are wanting to start out in Japanese swordsmanship, go and see another video. Virtually what I'd say for people that are starting out or wanting to start out in medieval swordsmanship, get yourself a decent practical. If you don't have one of them, you can start training with a PVC pipe or broom handle or something until you get confident enough to go into the sharps. I wouldn't recommend actually training with a sharp sword to begin with, because if you stuff up, you cut yourself. Now, this is not just about swords. These footwork, or the way you place your feet, will be used for other weapons as well. And I'll demonstrate that in just a minute. But first off, I'll show you what a practical sword is. This is a Henway's hand and a half sword. As you can see, if you can see it, instead of coming at the shoulder to a sharp edge, it is actually flat at the shoulder rather than a sharp edge. This is what I use for combat and training. It reacts exactly like a real sword should react, but it's blunt, so it won't hurt. Well, break bones and kill you, yes, but it won't actually hurt you if you stuff up too much. Not like chopping a limb off. So virtually there's wards or stances that you stand in. So a rear guard, high guards, but your footwork, while you stand in a comfortable stance, you wear what you are comfortable in wearing. And virtually, if you're going to transgress forward towards your enemy, you'd start from here, you'd block his attack while moving forward with your other foot. So it is a movement in which you're comfortable in. You don't need to step too far out, you don't step too close unless you're comfortable to do so. But generally it is just a normal step. Now, footwork works roughly like that. So to putting it in with a sword, like I said, it's bringing the sword up, over. So as you'll see, going to a sharp bladed weapon, for those who have seen the video with the sword in it.
The camera fall down.
You'll know that this is actually quite sharp. It is just simply into the stance, bringing it up and around. Now once you get comfortable enough to do that, you'll be able to transgress to bigger weapons and other weapons as well. But for single-handed swords it works roughly the same. So coming in from the same rear guard, it's just up and over. It's just that I'm using one hand rather than two hands on a sword. And this is what I meant by the Henway's Greatsword Award is really a broadsword for me, because this is a great sword. This is a claymore, and as you can tell, it's quite large. And this is what I was saying about once you get the footwork perfect and you get your handling technique comfortable enough, you'll be able to transgress to bigger weapons and different weapons. And different weapons, the warhammer. This is actually a knight's warhammer. It's different to a common warhammer. Common warhammer had more like an axe handle to it, whereas this one's got plating. And if you notice, I'm using non-technical terms for people that are starting out, don't know the terms. Well, at least this is basic enough English for them to understand. It's got plating on the pommel area of the weapon, and the handle is big enough to be used in two hands as well as one. Now, let's say I haven't got a shield, someone is coming down in an angled attack with a sword. The reason why you'd step in is because you'd bring it up, hold on to the pelican's beak or crow's beak, deflect, pommel with the weapon. Now, I've done that to my little brother in the middle of town when we were doing a demonstration a couple of years ago, and he was wearing a Teutonic Knight's helm, which is a full-faced great helm. And I knocked him out accidentally. So be aware when you start progressing into the bigger weapons and you are doing combat that this is a real warhammer. There is no fake to it. I can punch this through plate armor and exactly smash into the plate armor, dent it in, break ribs, do all that sort of stuff. This is a real weapon, so just be aware of that when you start progressing into weapons like warhammers, that sort of thing. And this is a little knight's parens axe. Like I said, same sort of footwork. Come up, down. Right, it's got a spade, an axe head, so you can come up in with the spade, come back around with the head. Very versatile weapon. The reason why I've got a small one is because this one's either used as a parrying weapon in the left hand with a sword, like so, block, attack. Notice the hand and a half is comfortably used in single hand as well as two hands, hence why it's a hand and a half, not a two-handed sword. Or it can be used with a shield or buckler. This is a buckler, so you can attack like that. Now, a lot of Japanese weapons, like katanas, rely on your body moving as one to make the cut and make it clean. Medieval weaponry is a little heavier than the average katana, so therefore it doesn't rely on that body movement as much, but proper technique will reward you with cleaner cuts. So you can virtually stand still with a medieval weapon and just go like that without moving your hip rearward like you would with a Japanese weapon.